Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest Dawn of War Soulstorm cast this side of East Yorkshire. And today we've got a 1 versus 1 on Fatamorga. On the other side, as the Necrons, we've got Bloody Monster. On the other side, as the Orks, we have got Dash. Dash will be opening up with a couple of Slugger Boys, a Grok Squad, and a Boys Hut. Whereas Bloody Monster is going to go for a couple of Bill Scabs, Necron Warrior Squads, and a couple of Plasma Generators. It's been a while since we've been on Fatamorga. I've been avoiding this map for so long that I completely forgot that it's, part of the rotation. We're back, baby. The sands, the two little balls, the shaft, it's all there, baby. It's all there. And now that I've said that, you won't be able to unsee it. There we go. So Necrons versus Orks. Always an interesting matchup. As, the Necrons, they're always going a little bit slow. But the Orks do like to be a little bit bashy in the early games. You get the big mech, you get the shooter boys, you tie them up together, and then you throw them at the enemy. And it's always a bit difficult going up and trying to bash these plasma generators from the Necrons. As, the Necron Warriors are quite strong in the early game. You get your Necron Lord out, they're able to tie things up, and you've always got Build Scouts to be able to repair things as they are getting beaten up. So, yeah, I would probably recommend the Orks probably go for the Build Scarab hunting season, really. That would probably be a more efficient way of doing things. But who knows, I've sometimes seen Orks people go about and get a plasma generator or two down. So obviously if Dash is up for the task. His name isn't Dash. He's got a Chinese symbol, but it won't appear on the replay. And believe it or not, boys and girls, I can't read Chinese, so I'm not even going to try and pronounce that name. So there we go. Necron Warriors coming out and just having a little bit of a look around and seeing what they can see. Slugger Boys is capturing their nearest and dearest as the Shooter Boys make their way on over. Necron Warriors will be beating Shooter Boys in a early game scrap, but the moment that those big shooters come online, those Shooter Boys will be taking them to the dry cleaners. Bill Scab seeing what they can see over on the northeast. On the eastern side, I can never remember which side is east and which side is west. Always have to do that. Never eat shredded wheat thing. But here we go. Bill Scab's thinking, nope, do not want to engage with these Shooter Boys. Oh, also, one thing that I forgot to mention. Jagus and Duzzy Minister, they're doing a tournament soon. Duzzy Minister is going to comment on this video or something. I'm going to pin it, and he's going to put a link on there or something to show you the stuff. And I'll put a link in the description as well. So check it out. Stuff is happening. Tournaments are happening. It's all going to be good fun. I might go there for a cast or two. I don't know yet. I only just saw the message about 5 minutes ago. Here we are. Big Mech going up against the Necron Lord. Necron Lord teleports in. And the Big Mech says, no, thank you. You've already used your teleports, so we're just going to teleport straight in and see what we could do. Delaying this summoning course somewhat by scaring that Bill Scarab away. And then deciding, right, okay, well, if none of the Bill Scarabs are going to come near us, may as well see if we can destroy a plasma generator. Big Mech separating himself from the Shooter Boys, while then turning his attention to this Necron Lord. And in a straight-up 1v1, who wins? I think it's the Big Mech, to be fair. But when those Necron Warriors come online, and mosey on down with him, not an engagement we want to stay with. Necron Warriors got quite a good accuracy rate while on the move as well, so chasing away enemies. This is what I mean, though, right? So if you charge in and try and bash plasma generators, hard to take them down anyway. Necron Warriors, they can just spawn out from the Necron monolith. And it's just a bad time for all. Especially if you walk by an obelisk and they zap you with a big green finger of energy. Shooter Boys don't have that much health or armor. They're starting to... Yeah, look at that. So much quicker to kill the Bill Scarabs. And every time we kill the Bill Scarab squad, it does require a whole production line stoppage to regain them. So if you kill enough of them, we'll slow down the Necrons just a little bit. The Lord chasing away these lads. He's saying, get off my sand, young man. And other boys as well. We don't like you. But outnumbered, outgunned. Big Mech will turn around. See if he can give him the old 5-finger shuffle with his power claw. Necron Lord teleports away. Where have you gone? They've gone back over here to the safety of your warriors. They're going to come down on this side. Have you got your summoning core finished? You have just got it finished. Always a risk of bringing your Necron Warriors far and far from your base. As if they're out of position against an enemy that can kill them, well, then they die, because it takes them a million years to run away from things. Well, quick teleport back home, and does them all the good stuff. Shooter Boys now having their big shooters online. Like I mentioned earlier on, will cause them some issues. Will not be winning a firefight at all. Love how the Big Mech's also separated himself from the squad, trying to tie these guys up. Necron Warriors trying to ignore them and just walk on forward towards the shooter boys. Necron Lord trying to get them as well. Oh, and a third squad of shooter boys. Very nice stuff. So even if the Necron Lord throws down a John Cena beam here or here, there'll still always be a squad of shooter boys to be firing around. Well, I suppose if he puts it down here and then charges after these guys in melee, there'll be all three of them tied up. Big Mech having a field day, keeping his pin-pan strong by slapping around that Necron Lord. And, yeah, having to force the teleport back home. Necron Lord quite low on health at the moment. Does have his phase shift now, so we'll keep these guys alive for a little while. So at least allowing them to finish off that obelisk. Would love to see these obelisks start firing their bits and bobs there. Would really, really help him in his defense. Maybe saving it for a rainy day. The obelisk has been finished. Shooter boys aren't great at breaking down buildings. Will take them a while. That does offer the Necrons a little bit of time. Also now at 76% build speed and 80 green. As the Orks are at 104 and 10. They are one war banner away from taking up into tier 2. And the Necrons are already in tier 2. Opening up with some flayed ones. Yeah, if you can have the Necron Warriors on the front lines, teleport the flayed ones on the back lines, and then get the Necron Lord teleporting in, that is quite a common flanking maneuver you do see from the Necrons. Flayed ones won't do that much damage if the shooter boys decide to run away. It's all about just forcing the shooter boys into a less than advantageous positioning. Lovely micro on that big mech from Symbol here. Those scabs go down once again. Flayed one's now on the side. It's going to be a narrow choke point to escape from. Warriors and Necron Lord chasing away one squad of shooter boys here. So actually the big mech over here is on his own. Can't remember if he's used a jump or not recently. So maybe that's why he's a little bit out in the sticks. Got some grots over here as well. So I assume tie up some stuff. Always love the old grot combo. Got a Wraith as well. I mean, Wraiths would probably be more advantageous in this situation than some flayed ones. See here, it takes them a while to catch up on them. Big Mech teleports away. But that Wraith can just keep on top of these guys. And if it's struggling to get into close combat, it can just phase shift itself. So much more viable, I would say, in these smaller engagements at the moment. As the game goes on, I suppose flayed ones you can just throw down on the battlefield, then A-move them in a particular direction, and then forget about them. Necron Lord using his phase shift to keep these guys online. And then they teleport back home. I assume to then regain their models and then teleport back out into the no man's land. They have lost their relic. That won't mean too much to them. John Cena being placed over here. I assume that's to prevent these guys from moving over and focusing on this obelisk, so that's why I haven't seen him being placed smack bang in the middle of everyone. It's a fairly nice placing for it. Wraith, are you being repaired? Oh my goodness, I had no idea you could repair a Wraith with build scarabs. Look at this, boys and girls, we're learning. Every day is a school day. That's how I feel at the moment, core blimey. With the workload I've got. Hecky flip. I won't complain at work because it's Saturday, well, Thursday for me recording this, Saturday for you watching this. And you know, the weekend is not a time for complaining about work, is it? It's about fun in the sun. Or, I mean, no sun anymore because now it's autumn. And in England, that means rain every day and cold. Which is kind of like the summer, minus the cold, really. It's just always raining. Which is a shame, really. I like the sun. I miss the sun. Forgot what it looks like. Well, the knobs are out. Pardon the phrasing. And question mark, why knobs? I suppose you've got the shooter boys already. No point in going for the whatchamacallums, the storm boys, because nothing really to tie up, in all fairness. Knobs quite chunky. You teleport them in with the big mech as well. They could be slapping around the warriors. So yeah, no, I get it. I understand where that's coming from. I would probably have just assumed it would be war trucks and war tracks. Because then when the Necron Lord throws down that John Cena beam, being able to put your double shooter boys inside the war truck and then shimmy and shake them around. Big teleport inside the base. And the Necrons will be forced to teleport back home to do some defensive stuff. Big zap on the destroyer. That's going to be a prime target for the Nob squad to deal with. I reckon. Ship boys coming over. They'll be blasting apart the obelisks. Necron warriors attempting to catch up on things. But yeah, nice choice on the destroyer. After all, there's no anti-vehicle stuff for the Orks at the moment. And they've also got a Wraith as well, so if there are any tank busters come online, the Wraith will be able to spot them. They're not going around, although they have lost their obelisk and their listing post. Or their strategic point even. The scouts coming over, I assume, to recapture that. And the Orks not really achieving much in that engagement, apart from taking this down. So I suppose it's a little small win for them. You've got anime on your banner. As a symbol, you do have anime. Fair enough. Why not, I suppose? Orks love their anime as far as I'm aware. Now double destroyers. Yeah, we'll probably need to see some tank busters, or at least some war tracks with their missile launchers. You have that. Mech shop. Looking for a war truck. And okay, right. War trucks to maneuver these guys around. Tank busters to bust the tanks. And bust a move. Got some slugger boys over here that look like they've been forgotten about. I suppose if these guys die, that does free up some population space for the Orks. Knobs slapping down the Ghost turret. Interesting that was placed at this stage of the game and not earlier on. Don't normally see that being built up at this time. Yeah, those Knobs just cracking good jobs at smacking down buildings. Although constantly being forced to stay on the move from all these Necron warriors. Another zap on the destroyer. But no ability to really follow up on it. They're starting to run through the Necron warriors. Very brave. Don't think this is the wise idea, symbol. Bloody monster capitalising on this opportunity. Attempting to focus those Knobs down. And they're not cheap. 45 blue and 10 green. Which is quite expensive for an Ork model, to be fair. Morale broken will increase their speed. They're only going to go back in. Just when they thought they could get out, they pull them back in. Glorious stuff. Oh, two-pronged attack. Got tank busters. And the shooter boys inside that war truck. But the destroyers are ready. While the Necrons might be slow, their destroyers certainly are not. But one thing as well is that the build scabs can also spot infiltrated units. So using infiltration against Necrons inside their own base is quite difficult. Unable to really get much of a purchase inside of the Necron side of things. Also got some Immortals as well. So the Necrons at the moment have got an answer for everything that the Orks have on the field. Wraith comes on now. Not infiltrate, sorry. There was very shifted by the looks of things. Destroyer comes forward. One problem with the Destroyer though, unlike a lot of other vehicles from other factions, it does like single target damage. It's not like an AoE thing. So, isn't the most effective in the grand scheme of things. But it'll do the job. The ship boys in the war truck on the far side of things. Going up against, are you pariahs? You are... Well, I'm trying to get both combats in the screen at the moment. Wonderful placement of that solar pulse. No firepower coming from the Orks at the moment. Knobs teleporting around, up on over. Also got tank busters bashing the Wraith with their stick bombs. Love to see it. Necro Warriors teleporting around towards the obelisk, repositioning away from the forward advancing war trucks. Love the speedy war trucks as well. What are you? Oh, you're not pariahs, fair enough. I was going to say that you're not in tier 3. Imagine scaring them off on this side. But the vast majority of the Orks are on the right-hand side. And the flayed ones attempting to slice and dice these shooter boys. Grots infiltrated, repairing that war truck. And if we can take out the flayed ones, the morale potential damage will be avoided. That being said, the Knobs are in such a number. In fact, to be honest, the Orks are in such a number that they're gaining that health regen, morale, immunity kind of boost. All flayed ones are dead. And it's just a ball of green angry fury. Don't think the Necrons have quite the firepower necessary to deal with them at the moment. But another beautiful placement for that solar pulse. And the destroyers just picking off the Knobs as and when they fancy. Really do for those Immortals wherever they've gone. The Immortals are over here. getting in close and sniping out those war trucks. The Nobs are keeping them at bay. The Grots over here being shot by everything. Shooter Boy squad as well. And the Necrons trying to fight things on both fronts here. Or defend things on both fronts. The Orks attempt to attack on the same. Look quite extra micro from both players. Always risky doing two fights at once. Really, really easy to get focused on the micro of one, just forgetting about the other. Good economy is 126 and 50, compared to 76% build speed and 112. Looking for tier 3. Are you in tier 3 now? You are not in tier 3. So Necrons with the potential for some bigger and badder stuff. What would you go for in this? Heavy destroyers take on the war trucks. That's a bit excessive, I think. But then again, I mean, there's only one squad of tank busters. So it might not be the worst idea. Big explosion from the obelisk. Like I said, I'm surprised we haven't seen more of that in this game. But fends off those Orks. One tank buster goes down. Everyone just standing firm at the moment. The Nobs coming back home for reasons. About to get into the population cap where the Orks can start researching tier 3. Wartrock zooming over on the left-hand side. And with all the... I mean, the Necrons are kind of stood in the middle, really, so they can defend regardless of what side they come on. So put straight on in. Zaps the destroyer once again. But the phase shift from the Necron Lord protecting both the destroyer and the Ghost turret. So the teleport for the big mech is now down for a little while. Necron's just not wanting to push out of the base at all. To be fair, don't really need to. They can build up their own economy. They don't need map presence. They just need... I mean, they've got it. They've got all their points. Not struggling for anything. I was just constantly trying to see where they can get a few shanks in. The Warriors taking a little bit of a squam bump thing. Energy core has been finished. So I assume Shards of the Catan and then Deceiver turns half the Orks against themselves with his deceiving ability. Also fake monolith. You can't go wrong with a fake monolith. Pop that inside an Ork base. Everyone teleports over. Classic maneuver. But yeah, this side just is unassailable. Those double destroyers and the heavy upgraded Ghost turret.
Here to blow stuff up.
A second squad of tank busters. Might it be an idea to pop two tank busters inside a war truck, send it booming straight on into the Necron base, and then start attacking the flanks? I've got stasis. That came from... Who puts down the stasis? That is our Lord Destroyer. Right, okay. Nice choice, actually. These guys become immortal. You can't do any damage to them, but it does prevent them from moving or, you know, doing anything really. Allows them to focus on the war trucks. And if they can kill all the war trucks, they've then got no avenue of escape. Very nice maneuver from the Necrons here. The tank busters are out in force. And another stasis field being placed on the tank busters there. So now the destroyers can just pick them up. Oh no, they can't pick them off because they're immortal now. Still very nice. Double Lord Destroyers, only a limit of 2. Can't get any more. That also tells the Orks, hey, you can't go for any vehicles now. Because if you do, we're just going to nick them. A big zap on that war truck. And as you know, he is going to attempt to steal a war truck. If you steal a war truck with infantry inside it, do you also get the infantry? That's my question. I'll destroy that. Quite low on health at the moment. Not as tanky as the regular Necron Lord. Tank Buster's been bothered by the Wraiths here. One dude getting his tit stabbed in. Not the way you want to go. And the Orks, yeah, they're not in as a commanding position as they were earlier on. Have you got... Yeah, Orks are now in tier 3. They're going for extra vehicle armor. Which, questionable. Now that you see those Lord Destroyers on the field, any vehicles you get... Well, then maybe you're getting that, so then you can then just buy infinite Slugger Boys forever for free. That might be the idea. Got a flash kits. And those guys will wreck face in the range department. Necrons don't really have a ranged equivalent to the flash gates. But my god, these Lord Destroyers are a real nuisance. They've snagged that war truck. I don't know if that's a worthy trade. I don't know whether I prefer to have a Lord Destroyer or a war truck, but those can always buy another one. Senior beam stopping the flash gates from firing. Moving forward on the left-hand flank. This stage field also allows the Necron warriors to shimmy on forward. And did you... Oh, you can now place things inside the war truck. Hold on, you can... Is that true? Yes, you can. Amazing. What a turntable event here. So now the war truck just positioning these Necrons wherever they want. Big zap on that war truck there. Necrons jumping inside, keeping them nice and warm. And some fighting juice placed on a knob squad to keep them alive. As the flash gets open fire. Necron warriors now out of everything. Oh, when a vehicle dies, the Lord Destroyer is still knocking around. Okay. That seems quite strong. That seems quite strong indeed. Well, the Necrons were doing a push. But now, are you a fake one? You are not a fake. You are a real one. Okay, sir. Full-blown restore monolith. He's on the field. Quite a dangerous beast, all things considered. I've seen looted tanks. Again, very dangerous choice. If we can keep him alive and away from the Lord Destroyers, that'll be amazing for them. The AoE damage, the several amounts of... Are you bolters? I mean, would the Orks call them bolters? Dakar, snaz wagons, whatever. No, the snaz wagon's a completely different vehicle, isn't it? That one fires electric. However, the war trucks are still going strong. We do have the shooter boys still on the mission for capturing things. Now that the flash kits are out, it doesn't really matter what happens to these guys. These guys die, it'll just replace with more flash kits and also go for... I mean, the general thing is you go 2 knobs, 2 flash kits, and a couple of tanks and stuff to boot. War bosses in there. Give him the wire to increase movement speed and attack stuff. Necron monolith making it slow, meandering way, although it's parked a little bit now. Necron's got plenty more space for more stuff there. They could build up more units if they fancied. Maybe even get a tomb spider out just to pick up the dead and dying to increase that production capability. But the Orks moving over on the other side. Do you have people inside that wagon? You do. But been stuck on the Immortals. Rob's been blasted apart by the monolith. No one wanted to go against him. Although the looted tanks are taking a couple of shots off at him. Flash gets on this side. Breaking apart those Necrons. Love to see the war boss in there as well. Not going to see him often. And generally, whenever you do see him, he is in the flash kit squad. Good lord, that monolith just... That big old zapper on top of it. Remarkable amounts of damage. And, oh, excellent. Yes, we are now seeing the never-ending tide of Orks. So as the game goes on and the Necron's plasma generators start decaying and they'll let the economy, well, the Orks can just throw out slugger boys all day long. Although about to lose a looted tank here. Oh no, did you manage to kill him? Just in the nick of time. You did. Nice one. Fantastic stuff. So I think that maybe the Necron monolith is a little bit out in the neck of the woods with not much support going on for it. As we said, they've got room for a lot more infantry. They don't have him. Do you have a Necron Lord even? You do, but he's about to die. And the monolith has teleported in, so it's got no escape avenue at the moment. It's take a while for that to rebuild itself. Tank just chilling out on the back lines, minding his own business. Mad Doc having the same kind of idea. Oh, there we go, managing to teleport out of there. Have you built your... I can't tell if he's gone for his shards of the Catan yet. The Necron Lord is dead. So that's the problem for him. Oh, poor Necron here trying to stand up, but then realising he's got no friends in coherency range. Going down. So yeah, that's all Necron warriors down. Just to rebuild them. Might be an idea at this point to build up a second... Ah, there we go. You've got a second Necron monolith. So I assume you're just going to spam out the Necron warriors. That would be my assumption. You've got your double disruption fields on your Necron warriors, so it's not a bad choice. Will die quite quickly to the flash kits.
Until take and hold victory.
I mean, what else can you really go for? Go for pariahs. They'll struggle to catch up with these guys. I think it's just Necron warrior spam. Maybe some flayed ones to tie things up. Be really keen on your Necron Lord placement. That's one problem. Like, when he dies, the next time he respawns is wherever he last stood, so stuck out in the middle of no man's land. Can he get a teleport off to escape? Doesn't look like it. There we go, managing to escape. It's all the way near the Necron monolith. Well, Flash gets over yonder, running roughshod over everything. Blasted by the obelisk, but now turn their attention to the destroyer. Although they don't do damage against vehicles, I mean, it's still just such a high level of damage that will break through it anyway. Yeah, but it's been a really widespread fight overall in this game.
5 minutes until taking.
It's not been army to army, it's just been lots of little skirmishes here and there. Orks spending most of the game poking and prodding. Necrons then manifesting themselves and coming all together, and now it's just kind of gone back to this scattered kind of desperate engagements. Orks struggling to go up against the Necron monolith, but I mean, they could just send Slugger Boys all day long. Tank Busters in the ranks to just break it down, but I assume you've got Builder Scarabs knocking around. Yes, you do, sir. You'll keep it in good stead. Necron Lord forcing the flash gets backwards. Necron Warriors following in hot pursuit. We've got a Squig off. Oh my goodness, double relics in a game you don't see often. And I assume these guys are in the mindset of using a Squig-Off as more of a mobile weapons platform rather than a close combat relic unit. Mainly because the main problem with it is that its pathing is just shite. So when you want to get in close combat, it spends half its time actually turning around and trying to do damage. A fighter bomber, which, interesting. Again, I assume more war trucks, or tracks even, sorry. Just for the missiles on them. After all, the fighter bomber is more of an artillery piece for the Orks. There's not much in the way of infantry to scatter for the Necrons. Well, I suppose, you know, I mean, if you can have it, why not? We've got a Nightbringer somewhere. He's going to smash up that Squig-Off in close combat. Night Lord takes no damage. There's no point in the Squig-Off sticking around. He's going to run away with his tail between his legs. Flash gets booming around towards those Necron warriors. And the monolith is suffering a little bit of damage. And I've got two boys' huts bringing out the boys. We've got the main one inside the base to bring out the actual serious infantry. Oh, can a Lord Destroyer take over Squig-Off? I don't think he can. Imagine if he could. Yeah, I think relic units are immune to such mischief. Plenty of dead Orks at the moment. Been thrown into the meat grinder as the Nightbringer slices and dices these flash kits. Had the fighting juice on them. I mean, they still do, in fact. So they'll run away before that juice fades away. Another squad of flash kits, more or less inside the base at this point. Might be an idea to teleport the Storm Monolith back home, but I suppose if they do that, they lose ground. That's not in their favour. Necron's defending the left-hand side with Warriors and Lord Destroyer. Centre being held by this one singular Destroyer. Won't be for much longer, though. It's hard to keep all the action in the screen at the moment. Squig-Off charging forward with his rampage ability, but being stopped by that one Lord Destroyer. Nice, look at it. Pure madness across all three lanes. Necron Warriors pushing back the flash kits by sheer weight of numbers alone. That's what we want to see. Must seem just constantly been thrown in. Balls to walls, nuts to butts. And then a Tomb Spider in there just to build past the squad cap. Oh, where's my camera going? I apologise if I gave you vertigo then. They're losing two of their obelisks, so it will slow down the production rate of whatever they're building up. Screwed off getting a repair in. War Boss on his own. We'll do an honourable last stand. Bonking that destroyer, actually. That Lord Destroyer, just turning around, giving them the old Rick James to the face. Necron monolith being constantly repaired. Don't seem to be... Where are you coming from? What was the purpose in that? That should prevent the looted tank firing. A bit of a questionable choice there, Mr. Bloody Monster. The amount of corpses now mounting up. Orks having to clamber over their dead to be able to get towards that monolith. That's okay. All these generators, quite a lot of them, feeling a little bit sad for themselves. All smorgasbord of Necron warriors now teleporting over to the monolith here. And yeah, just move on forward, man. That's what we got to do. Standing still for far too long. Got to get in there. Strike while the iron's hot. Well, I suppose now the Orks, after having some things dead, have brought all the lads into the same area. Nobs teleporting. Flash gets moving forward. And just a lot of long-range firepower opening up on the Necron position. Monolith still standing strong at the moment. Got to bear in mind, though, that the Necron monolith, it doesn't go down all the way to 0 health. Roundabouts at this general red health range, that's when it discombobulates and goes back home. So when you think, oh, it's got 4,500 health left, it does not. It's more like 3,000, 3,500. I quite remember what the cut-off point for the Necron monolith is. We might find out together, mightn't we? Look at that. Necron Lord's been dead. Oh, it'd been such a shame. Could have jumped him in there and done some more stuff. Don't get me wrong, I got the Cena beam off, but I'd love to see him close come up with these guys. Ah, that is about 2,500 health. He goes back home. Not even red health. It's low yellow health. And he's stuck. Go back home, Necron monolith. There we go. So Necron's losing this position here. They can't really attain it. And yeah, they've got the powerful mega armoured knobs on the front lines. They've also got these regular armoured knobs as well. And that's why Orks is so strong in the late game. Knobs and flash gates, that's all you really need. And vehicle composition is essentially whatever you fancy. Whatever's the most appropriate against the enemy that you're going up against. I suppose that's one of the strengths of the Orks. The build orders is quite set in stone. You know what you're going to get with them. It's quite easy to plan around with. Essence of the Deceiver. Your plan, I assume, is to convert all the Orks onto your side. You managed to get a few. Only the tank busters and maybe those shooter boys as well have really done with snagging the flash gates. Hey-oh. That's unfortunate for them. A fake restore monolith. And I assume, yeah, you're going to be repairing that Necron monolith to regain it. More Lord Destroyers are coming out. I assume sniping out those looted tanks. And it's not looking pretty for the Necrons at the moment. I mean, all the Orc stuff is just standing around at the moment. They come in, strike that final blow. It's all over for the Necrons, but trying to get as much stuff on the cards as possible. Looted tank going to be deleted by symbol here. And a screwed off front kicking. That Lord Destroyer scaring him away. Never seen the beam. Oh, they're going to attempt to go for the... Oh, I thought we were going to try and take that fighter bomber for a second then. Fighter bomber wouldn't be a bad idea against all this infantry. The Grandma Knob's taken down. They're building up some ghosts as well for defensive reasons. But both monoliths going for those Necrons. Oh, no, never mind. It's at GG. And that is that. It's quite a back and forth game, really. The Necrons did a really good job defending for the first half of that, making sure that each of these lanes were unassailable from the Orc perspective. And when they started pushing down here, it did really look a bit scary. Oh, good lord, look at that carpet of dead. Very glorious stuff. But yeah, so they were down here with the Necron monolith and stuff, and Orcs poking, prodding this way and that. So they couldn't really push too far forward. Push too far forward, then they would have lost all the stuff around here. So they needed to make sure that they had a presence still over on this side. So that constant aggression from the Orcs eventually just broke through those Necron lines. and all that stuff. So very nice show from both players here. So cheers, boys and girls, for watching at home. If you want to support the channel, have a look at the old Patreon. £1 a month gets you once a game a week, and there is also Discord where Discord things happen. Links in the description as always. Mine's been Mr. Landshark, pleasure's always never short, and I'll see you in a bit. Peace.